Hey guys, today we're going to discuss some of the top silicone mold making mistakes. And the first one is improper ratio. This one is 1-to-1 by weight. Some of them do by volume and or weight. But if you don't mix the proper ratio, what you can wind up with is either the whole mold doesn't cure properly, like this one, which is, sticky, and or you could wind up with spots in the mold that are soft and sticky. Either way, that's not going to work out well. And then number two is make sure that you've mixed it well enough. And most people suggest that you mix for 2 to 3 minutes, which you can wind up with the same kind of problem of having either uncured silicone or the spots or the whole thing. And then the third one is seal. So say for instance you have a mold box, and like me, you're using the laminating sheets. If it's not sealed and you don't have a good fit, you'll wind up with the silicone leaking out on the sides, and then you'll just have a mess to deal with. You'll either have to clean up the mess or wait for it to dry and then kind of peel it off. And then number 4 is make sure your part has a good seal between your mold box and the part itself. Otherwise, like this one, you wind up with sort of a film over the top of the part, and you're not going to be able to easily get your part out, and you're going to wind up with a messed up mold. As you can see there, you're going to have a rough edge, at least, at the minimum. And then the next one, number 5, is make sure you're using a level surface. As you can see, this is much thicker on this side than it is on this side. And the biggest problem there is when you go to cast something in your mold, it's going to be really difficult to make it sort of level and even to the top of the edge. And then number 6 is demolding too early. Now, I didn't do it with this mold. I don't have a good example of it, but sometimes if you demold too early, and like this one, it cures in 8 hours. But I'll generally wait if it's a really difficult part with a lot of features on the part and undercuts and that kind of stuff. You're gonna want to wait extra time. I usually wait at least 24 hours, even if it says 8 hours. And if it's a really difficult part, I'll even wait for 24 hours. 48 hours, 2 days. But you could demold after 8 hours, usually on a simple part. And then the last thing I want to mention is bubbles, air bubbles. So for the most part, if you don't have any undercuts on your part, and you probably won't have too much of an issue with air bubbles. But I don't know if you can see on this part, but there's like an undercut in there. So in other words, the part goes in there and then the silicone is coming out, and it's kind of trapping air bubbles in there, not allowing them to sort of escape from the surface of the mold. And when you have a complicated part like that, the only way to deal with the air bubbles is to probably put it in a vacuum chamber. A pressure pot. There are, I'm sure, other options, but that's the one that I use. So that was 6 in total. I appreciate you watching, guys. If you want to support my channel, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Have a good one.